Live Sunday Night Football action here. New England Patriots opening the first quarter. They have the ball inside the 10-yard line here. Best of the best Sunday Night Football. That's what watching the game is all about. Should be a really high-scoring game in the 30s, I imagine. Maybe 35, 33 today I can see for the game. I think that's what's most likely going to happen. It's a lot of back and forth action. That is a trade. First and go. That should be good. I'm going with the Packers. You can see a lot of comeback action today in that New Orleans Saints game. So if the Patriots score first, it's not really a big deal. I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers after a very close game last week against the LA Rams. I had Breeze and the Saints today. I have Packers against the Saints for the NFC Championship game. They're going to be playing against each other. I said that before the week. Drew Brees wins this weekend. They get a tiebreaker against the LA Rams. LA Rams playing the Cardinals division. They don't have much competition. Since we're 2-6, San Francisco's 1-7, and Seattle's 4-4. They don't have much competition to get ready for the playoffs. That's the Rams' problem. They only beat the Packers by 1 point at their home stadium. They're not going to be ready to play. They're a little overhyped right now. Green Bay and these guys, all that experience in the playoffs is going to count. They got rid of the mistake last week. We see that in the NFC Championship game. And we are going to see Aaron Rodgers make it back to Atlanta. Remember, when the Packers won the Super Bowl, they beat the Falcons. They beat them at Atlanta during their Super Bowl run. Remember that the closest Aaron Rodgers was to the Super Bowl, he lost at the Georgia Dome at Atlanta. So his next trip is going to be at Atlanta. That's where he won during his first Super Bowl title, his victory on the road. And then we have Aaron Rodgers. The closest he's been to the NFC title game, it was against the Falcons at Atlanta. So it means a lot to Aaron Rodgers and company. I think the last time the Packers played the Falcons in the regular season, I think it was the Packers that scored 23 points that game, or someone scored 23 points that game. Super Bowl is going to be on a date of 2-3 right now. If the Patriots are 5-3 this game, this just confirms what this season's going to be about. If New England is 5-3, this is the year Super Bowl 53. The Patriots have the so-called Super Bowl hangover. Pass the torch equals 53. This is what's happening here. Luck and Mahomes have more touchdown passes than Brady. It's happening for a reason, people. It's happening for a reason. It's time to pass it on to the next generation of quarterbacks in the National Football League. Andrew Luck is the one with the playoff wins and experience, so Andrew Luck to come first to win the AFC before Patrick Mahomes and company. I imagine the Rams going to play in the Super Bowl someday, but they're just inexperienced right now. And that's what's happening with these guys right now at the Rams. They have a great team, but these beastly teams in front of them, it's going to be a few years till they can break over the hump. They're maybe not there yet. You talk about, there just wasn't too much of the code against Penn State that, although the video on Ahmadinejad is going to be coming on Monday, I'm going to do the one on Ahmadinejad saying, the Michigan's going to be great. There's something with that with the Ahmadinejad. I have to dig it up, but I'm going to mention that in my next video about Michigan sneaking into the playoff. The Alabama quarterback wears number 13 associated with both good and bad luck. And, Jim Harbaugh's had bad luck, falling up short constantly. And he may need a little luck in the national title game against the quarterback number 13. College basketball, man, I think it's about King Zion Williamson. And maybe if we look at Final Four appearances for each team, we can see who's playing the Final Four. I should pay attention to the rankings and who's taking the spotlight in college basketball, and maybe we can come up with a Final Four or a national title game. Um, you know, hard to pick which big giants make it for the second team. Easy to see as the season goes on. Two-time NFL MVP. See, this is what they bought up with the GOAT narrative with the Michael Jordan commercial for this week. This game's going back and forth, and that's what I see here with that Green Bay first down. The Eagles, they may not even make it to the playoffs this year. I really like the Redskins this year. It seems like the Eagles are executing a script that they seem like a much better team, but they just quit on games like against Tennessee Titans or the Carolina Panthers. And if they win both these games and they play a full 60 minutes, and they're one of the best teams this year, but does the NFL not want them to be one of the best teams this year? There's something going on with the Eagles. There's something going on with the Eagles this year, I tell you. They should be much better than what their record is. I thought the Redskins would be a wild card team this year, sneak in as a 6th seed, but I still had them as a playoff team, but holy hell, they win the division. Gematria and numerology, Kabbalah code of the universe, and that's how the creation of the architect operates. He's owning. His creation is what's rigging games. Creator universe is a very mystifying, mysterious being because answers to life are not supposed to be very simple and concrete. They're supposed to be a little complicated. We don't live in ideal universes. Life is a matter of black and white, and that's what brings balance to the universe. Now, he had it 33 wide open. Now, I think Aaron Rodgers is healthy as he's been all season. They're fixed because they have to maximize profit to, maximize fan interest through marquee matchups, through having teams from each geography in the playoffs. That's why there's 8 teams in the NBA, and that's why you see division winners with worse records make it over wild card teams. Teams from various geographical regions, and then parity and having these occasional winners in the small market is what sports are all about. There is a narrative associated with some of them, like the New Orleans Saints, for instance. It was about winning after Hurricane Katrina. We recovered after Hurricane Katrina. We were ready to win the Super Bowl. We recovered, ready to get it done. Tampa Bay, there's John Gruden leaving the Oakland Raiders. Who does he beat in the Super Bowl? The Oakland Raiders with Tony Dungy's team. 3rd and 7 on my screen. 13 seasons Aaron Rodgers has played before this year. That may be probably a luck story for this year. Someone jumped off sides, but maybe it was the Patriots. So what is the official's discretion going to be? The NCAA, I believe they definitely are from time to time. Big programs get calls against small teams. The college playoffs going to make money for the events that it hosts. That's why you see teams go to the NIT that are better than some teams in the NCAA tournament that just bring more money to the events than those sort of teams. Oakland Raiders probably get the number 1 pick because John Gruden company are obviously taken, and I showed this my last video why I thought San Francisco would win. Aaron Rodgers! Aaron! Okay, Green Bay Packers going to win this game. They lost 27 to 26 last week. To the overrated LA Rams. 53 total points. Comeback equals 53, 26. Packers scored 26 points. So keep an eye for a possible fourth quarter comeback. It could happen this game, and it was how I predicted the game of the World Series, I think it was, or the NL Championship game to end in 13 innings when I was here live, because it's all about LA and the number 13. You can see how numerology gets involved with this. I'd like to take up the amount of fourth quarter comebacks Aaron Rodgers has had in the regular season and see if that's gonna happen tonight. Number 33 should be a big player to get fantasy points. I can pull up my gematria calculator. I mean, just check this out. Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady here on Sunday Night Football to Monday Night Football, because Sunday Night Football and gematria equals 12. Number 12 versus number 12. National TV. For the second time, I believe. 4 years ago, I think it was on primetime. Understand, Mike McCarthy's not going to get fired because, unfortunately for Mike McCarthy, he's had to throw some games in the past, like the game against the Seattle Seahawks in an NFC title game, where the guy doesn't even block his guy on the onside kick or whatever, or he's told to not go for the ball or whatever. That play when the Seahawks got that onside kick? Well, keep an eye out for Klay Thompson and Anthony Davis for the LA Lakers. Those are the guys that are going to be within their reach. They're probably going to give him the points tonight. Let's see what the ref. He's gone holding there yet. I mean, back and forth, back and forth. This is going to be like the Saints. The Saints-Rams game was just back and forth. No one was going to get a stop. You're just wondering, okay, when is it going to happen? And then the guy fumbled. It was just a game full of points, and the Saints showed why their defense arguably is the best in the NFC right now. I think Carolina's defense going to be up there too. I mean, there's some beastly teams in the NFC to keep an eye out here that Aaron Rodgers is going to have to go out and beat this year in the postseason. I saw that. She was talking about the number 12 and the number 1 and the number 2 and how more players, more quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame wear number 12. That's why Andrew Luck wears number 12, and I'm still sticking with them, okay, to win the Super Bowl 12 years later. Some of you are going to think I'm tripping or whatever. There's a reason why the Texans won 6 consecutive games. Andrew Luck is a snake. Snake is number 6 in the order. It's 7. It's Andrew that equals 65. The winning streak for Houston ends at 7 games. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is going to win the NFC this year against Drew Brees. The two marquee matchups this week, the Packers and the Patriots and the Rams and the Saints, are going to feature the 2 quarterbacks that are in the NFC title game. Maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe I should release a video about that and show the time duration from the NFC Championship game to today's date. This is something to keep an eye out for. And you're right, it is right in front of our face. I mean, you don't have to correctly call it. You can still see that it's red. But always the end goal is to get it right before the season starts. And you do not want to miss out on an opportunity to sleep on a well-executed, scripted NFL season. I mean, the Colts started 1-5, and it's Atlanta that equals 1-5. So it is right in front of our face. And people are going to write off the Packers, but the Packers are going to win the division. Packers are going to ball it out and kick the Rams' ass in the divisional round in the rematch. Teams win rematches in the playoffs. It only is. They love their Aaron Rodgers. All they have to do is score here. It's about getting points on the scoreboard. You have to wonder with fantasy football sometimes. In first half, over and under, if we're gonna see points regardless, but you may see a mixture of touchdowns and field goals this game. These defenses are going to show that they can go out and compete in the playoffs. They're going to show that they can get a hand there on occasional third down, because third down is what separates the elite against the very good. And maybe the league or maybe the books in Vegas want the under if they call an underneath screen pass on third down. So maybe we're going to see even more electrifying second half like we saw with the Chiefs against the Patriots. And that's something to look out for. Well, you got you got to get the 49ers in the Super Bowl with their new stadium. The Falcons are there in their new stadium. Cam Newton to get a Super Bowl to, market quarterbacks. So they don't need Aaron Rodgers in the Super Bowl every single year. And this is about maximizing our fan interest to have different teams in there. That's why we see different teams in the NFC. That's why we didn't see New England win last year. This is why we see the Kansas City Chiefs have a strong season after the Oakland Raiders were good a couple of years ago. We see the LA Chargers in playoffs, Cowboys in playoffs a couple of years ago, Giants in playoffs a few years ago. So understand that really often than not, you're going to see teams, have a playoff appearance. And that's what the NFL is all about. There still is a possibility that the Texans make it in as a fifth or sixth seed, and that the Colts, the Colts, make it to the playoffs as a sixth seed, but the Houston Texans make it in as a fourth seed. So multiple scenarios are in play, but I see a comeback for the division title happening. Well, certain plays, they say, I recall about Malcolm Butler, that they were rehearsing this play during practice. We were ready, and then the play happens in the Super Bowl. He knows where to go. He gets the interception. He's been practicing it all week, so he's got to execute it. He knows what's coming. He knows what's coming because he knows the play that's going to be run. So it looks real on the spot, but it's well rehearsed and it's well practiced. But that's all I can say about that. That's crazy stuff. They have chips in their bodies or whatever. But MK Ultra, you never know. Some players may undergo that sometimes. It is possible. It's easy to underthrow a ball to get incomplete pass at any time of the game. You just never know. What's the Hollywood script? Totally, what's your version, or what do you think is going to happen? Since there's anything, they can throw anything at us right now, but I'm going with Aaron Rodgers. I'm going with Aaron Rodgers to get the shock result on the road. He was this close last week. Oh, 12 points to the next play be a safety. Nah, that's pushing it. That's just pushing it. The course of history, Montana and Marino only face each other one time in the regular season, plus one Super Bowl. Elway faced Marino twice in the regular season. Favre and Peyton Manning hooked up only twice in their careers. Rodgers and Roethlisberger just once. Was different. That was with Bruce Arians when he was your offensive coordinator. It was like a game in the 30s. People are nuts if they say that Big Ben is not elite, okay? When you have multiple games with 6 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, you are an elite quarterback. It's among the best in the AFC. This is ludicrous. The Pittsburgh League doesn't want the Steelers in there. Mike Tomlin still has a job because, and Mike McCarthy has a job because he's part of these guys that make sure they get their team in there. The conservative play calling against Seahawks in the NFC Championship game, that says everything about what's happening. Well, this is a great game so far, and I'm enjoying it. Number 52 is going to show that he's the guy. We don't need 52 players. We need 53 players. Aaron Rodgers is that player on the Green Bay Packers this year in the year of Super Bowl 53. Indianapolis Colts, they can't go in there with 52 guys. They need 53 guys in the year of Super Bowl 53. The 2 guys that come back, Andrew Luck and Aaron Rodgers, they got to do the unbelievable, and this is going to be a year of luck over the second half of the year. Where you see these teams dominate. The Patriots could score here to be 14-3, but I'd still expect a 14-10. I mean, just a lot of points here. You never know what kind of beliefs he has, but he is an employee of a Masonic organization, so he's under their control. It's under their control. You know, these players and these refs are employees of the entertainment industry, so they can only do as they're told. They don't have to be Freemasons themselves, but they're under the control and influence of the institution themselves. So that's something to look out for. I still enjoy the product. Look out for defense tonight. This is what elite teams are all about. These teams are going to be playoff teams, brother. They're going to write off Aaron Rodgers. They're going to write off Mike McCarthy when he's been dealing with Aaron Rodgers' injuries. Their relationship is just fine. They put out drama out there. Clinton Diggs in his few plays out there. He's overrated. They got rid of him. Ty Montgomery, they got rid of him. They got rid of their mistake. They're going to move on with these set of guys that think they're going to execute the second half comeback. Defense there. Wow, that's a... How many years has B.J. Daniels played with the Green Bay Packers? He's been there for such a long time. Right up the gut here. He gets beat there, and Tom Brady hasn't even hit 20 touchdown passes yet. He needs 4 tonight to even reach 20. Other quarterbacks are getting more touchdowns than him this year, so Tom Brady is not the center of attention this year. Passes it on to Andrew Luck and Patrick Mahomes, but I tell you, Andrew Luck has to do the improbable with a little bit of luck, no pun intended. As I say this with 13 people watching me, that's probably not a coincidence. It's just happening naturally by nature. It's a funny world that we live with numerology. I see it in events in my life too. Even events like, the day that I placed my bet for the Super Bowl this year. Or my apartment number, how many days from my birthday to the Super Bowl. So Aaron Rodgers, what he's going to do tonight is going to show what the season's going to be all about. What Drew Brees did today in my Packers-Saints NFC Championship game prediction before this week's game says it all. The Houston Texans didn't win today. They didn't lose, but I showed you how Andrew Luck's astrology and the gematria show that the Texans are going to be 6-5 before they face the Cleveland Browns, who the Texans are going to defeat. The Texans are going to go 1-2 in their next 2 games before facing number 12, Andrew Luck. 2018, 2-0. Let's see. 2019, the year of the playoffs, 2-0. 1-9 is 12.
Benny's had a rough life. When his grandmother died, he inherited her.
Maybe Zach Copper documented that. I know he documented the game between the Packers and the 49ers, but at one point the game was 53 points. The game was 53 points. The Chiefs are going to make it to the AFC title game. 1 win in 2 games against a number 12 in the AFC Championship game. Kansas City Chiefs will be playing at Arrowhead. One team is going to head in there, and they're going to win on the road. And I think I've got the answer to that, too, as well. If we see Green Bay and these guys come into New Orleans and knock off Drew Brees, and Aaron Rodgers can be a GOAT. And Andrew Luck can make his legacy, too. And then we move on to Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders after that. The NFL's order and what it wants to achieve. The Rams, I'm sure, going to come down later on the road. The Washington Redskins could be a strong team next year. Yeah, the Raiders, I was off this year. I can admit that, but the Raiders over the long term, I'm going to be correct about them being one of the best teams in the NFL.
From the 13, Jamal Williams comes in and running back.
I mean, it is. I mean, the players are in it since they can get bigger CBA deals, so understand something. The players benefit from this. Peyton Manning, he lost the Super Bowl against the Saints, but it helped him. It helps him when you see these small market teams win from time to time in the Super Bowl, and there's a little suspense in the script, so that's why Peyton Manning couldn't win the Super Bowl in his first few seasons with the Broncos. He had to win in 2015, 2016. You'll see the Ravens and Ray Lewis in the Batman Dark Knight. Now the Packers in their running game here are starting to make some noise. Champions League games, that's going to be so fun to watch. I've documented Paris Saint-Germain, number 61, PSG, and Juventus going to be shocked if I don't see that in the final. And Jose Mourinho's next two loss against Juventus, so I already broke that down. I knew he would beat Everton. That equals under 20 for Juventus. It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch. Juventus are going to win. Cristiano needs to score. He got the assist today. He got the job done. Cristiano, if he really wanted the goal, he could have shot the ball himself, but he decided to get the assist to Juan Cuadrado. Maybe he thinks he can get a few hat tricks against Frosinone. Maybe he has a big game against Empoli again or Cagliari and some of those teams. Cagliari.
Rodgers getting rid of it.
Andrew Luck's bye comes 12 weeks before the Super Bowl. This is the 13th week. Andrew Luck's bye week comes 12 weeks before the Super Bowl. His birthday is 144 days before the Super Bowl. He had 144 touchdowns. After the game against Tom Brady and the Patriots, the torch can be passed on. I think we like underdog scripts a lot in sports, and that's what makes sports the way they are. So we have to look out for these certain ones when they come. Wide open. And this is a fun matchup to watch. Panthers playoff team, but Eric Reed and all this not looking good for them. I take New Orleans over them since Drew Brees is better than Cam Newton. And Cam Newton really is not that great. And, they gave him a big year so they could sell some jerseys or whatever. And Cam Newton was back to being the same mediocre quarterback. But Ron Rivera is a great coach. The Panthers are not going to do anything this year. They weren't going to do anything last year. I don't think Rodgers going to pick them this year, although I would urge you to give the Colts and the Packers a look into. Just a look. It doesn't have to pick them. They don't change any script or anything, okay? So I'm not going to be one of those people that say, I'm going to charge you money so you can join a group and, here's my picks and all this. Nah, I put the information out because that's how I roll, and I can support myself just fine. The safety are not lined up that deep. This may be the second time that we see 3rd and 7 with the score 3 and 7. I think that's going to be 7 yards before the marker. That's 3rd and 6. Okay. We're going to see some defense this game. They don't flip anything. Matrix is thing. They would have done that with the NBA Finals if it wasn't going to be the Warriors, right? Set the nail it straight perfectly every single time, and what can a human being do? There's always a margin for error sometimes. Colts are good. They just start off slow, add some close games that they lost. I mean, Eagles they should have beat, but the refs threw a flag. This part of the Super Bowl script for Atlanta. Colts actually should be 3-3 right now. They fumbled the game against Cincinnati. Part of the luck script. Atlanta equals 15. Colts equals 15 in Gematria. Tell you what, Colts 1-5. They will be 7-5 before facing Houston. You got that right. 8-5. 8-5. The Colts will be. Houston will be 7-6. Texans 6 loss against Snake. Luck. Raiders lost 6 game to Snake. Luck. That's what's up. I'm very positive that the second half of the season will play out like this. Second half is easy once you see how the first half of the season is, and you start to see everything sort of wind up as you see the second half of the season. So Houston, only 2 points. The coach goes for the 62-yard field goal. He ices the kicker. He misses the field goal. They get second chance and makes the field goal. This kicker misses it. Texans are not really good as advertised. There's only 2 points today. The Texans are going to show that it just won't be enough. They're going to be a middle-of-the-pack team. Dolphins with Osweiler and that garbage we saw today on a short week. It's just not. The Texans are playing some easy teams right now. They're playing the Jaguars during their losing streak right now, man. They got to play the Redskins and the Eagles still. They're not going to beat the Colts again, I can tell you that. They're going to lose to Tennessee. It's going to be bad for these guys. Really bad. And the Colts are definitely going to be 6-5. Will be 7-5. We're going to be 8-5. Colts win 7 straight games with Andrew. It is 7. It is Andrew that equals 65 in Gematria. That's why Colts going to win 7 straight. This is the season of luck and the year of the comeback. Remember, Tom Brady didn't score a single touchdown against the Bills last week. Wobbly throw there. They got hold of that boot.
Yeah. We'll see. The flags were thrown. Yeah. There's a hole. This is whatever it is they wanted to call on that one. There's a lot of contact with Alexander down the field. I think that seemed to be where they were throwing the flag. It's a 17-yard This is the first down, and that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. Good spirited quarter, New England 7, Green Bay 3. Sunday Night Football resumes after these messages.
More deeply for the 5 camera phones.
Sorry, Aaron, I know this thing's but defense wins championships, and we're bringing your truck now, so State Farm, you can practice khakis.
Okay. It's 7-3 Patriots right now. They're in a commercial break.
I'm always going to be a neighbor, and I think a company is the coolest thing you can build. I'm Adam, and I make robots.
Well, that's what suspense is all about. Suspense is what makes a script very exciting to begin with in the first place. Why would we watch if we knew who was going to win the Super Bowl all the time? And this is why you're going to see your occasional years where you see underdogs win. And this is what's happening with the Indianapolis Colts. And I imagine we may see Andrew Luck win 1 out of 2 Super Bowls. However, this one is going to give Aaron Rodgers 1 Super Bowl win out of 2. So that's why Indianapolis Colts can have a big run to end the year. And they are one of the top 5 best offenses in the NFL. They drew with Liverpool. Liverpool played the high line. They had a big offside trap going on. Gematria showed why Liverpool wasn't going to win the game, that Arsenal was going to pick up a point. The coding was there for Arsenal to win on Unai Emery's birthday. They could easily pull off the victory, but whatever happened, and Liverpool only picked up a draw. But I got Liverpool win the second time. They traded Demarius Thomas, but they only won today against the Broncos, who didn't have the same player. This is a mediocre Texans team out there. They played the Jaguars. They beat the incompetent Vance Joseph by 2 points with the help of a missed field goal. They beat the crappy Jaguars. I mean, who do they beat? I mean, they got lucky against the Colts, and the Colts going to win on 12-9. Andrew Luck's birthday is the reverse, 9-12, September the 12th. He picks it up.
Josh Gordon came earlier this year to the trade with the Cleveland Browns. Well, they just don't miss anything because you end up with 1-1.
Why does Josh Gordon go to the Patriots? It's like every general manager falls asleep. And they just go off of the guy's pass. Chargers make the playoffs. I don't know about any of Zach's calls. I don't know what his Super Bowl matchup is since he changes it all the time, but he may have had the Rams last week. I knew he had the Raiders for Thursday Night Football. I had the 49ers. Maybe he was right on the other ones. I have no idea what his other picks were, but that's just the ones that I know of about Zach. I got a comment saying that he charges $5 for picks, but they're not the right picks sometimes. So I hear both sides to it. I have no idea. I expect every pick to be high, but if it's like 66 to 60%, I like to see. But we'll see if we have the right Super Bowl split.
Watch how long James White at the back takes to pitch this ball back. You just throw it right. Okay, now. And that way you really suck in those linebackers so they can throw it in behind. All right. There we go. We got White split to the left along with Gordon. Logan to the right, Edwards to the slot to the right. No, that goes back into that field.
Field goals, right? The under. That's what we're seeing right now. 4th down. 98. It was Drew Brees' 98th win against the NFC today. Who's going to be the champion of the NFC? Who's going to be in the NFC Championship game? The New Orleans Saints. The Rams are not going to do anything this year, but they looking all that scared, swole and mighty against the Green Bay Packers last week. They weren't even doing that. The comeback is on here. This game's a touchdown, back and forth scores. I am enjoying this show right now. This is a perfect score right now of 13. I mean, I'm just curious. Like, what do you pick for the Rams and the Saints? Do you pick the Saints or the Rams today? I had the Packers last week. I'm still sticking with the Packer comeback script. So if I get 1 out of 2 in the past 2 weeks, I'll line up with Aaron Rodgers' number. If Green Bay wins this week, it's on. Okay, anyone who says Rams, whatever, that wasn't going to happen. The 49ers, that wasn't going to happen. Washington Redskins, that's not going to happen. And it's going to be Aaron Rodgers over Drew Brees for the NFC Championship game. We're going to see that. Number 12 is very significant for this year, as well as big astrology as well in 2019. And key political narratives are going to come. The blue wave and the impeachment of Trump, however, does not mean he will be convicted. Who's next in line? The Indiana governor, Mike Pence. Something to look out for. Something to look out for this game.
It's used. It's for Mikey. You know he's gonna have girls in that car. Yeah, he's gonna have 2.
Great benefits for veterans. From Navy Federal Credit Union, our members are the mission.
Hi, I just wanted to tell you that Chevy won the J.D. Power Dependability Award for its midsize car, the Chevy Malibu. I forgot, Chevy also won the J.D. Power Dependability Award for its light-duty truck, the Chevy Silverado. Oh, and since the Chevy Equinox and Traverse also won, Chevy is the only brand to earn the J.D. Power Dependability Award across cars, trucks, and SUVs 3 years in a row. Third time's a charm.
Foxboro head-to-head starts between Pro Football Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Going back to Tom Brady, who's 9-2 against other Hall of Famers. Kenny Stabler 15-7, Terry Bradshaw 12-7, Joe Montana 10-7, and so was Steve Young 10 wins, 7 losses when they faced other Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Of course, these guys will be going into camp. Well, Tom, who knows? Wants to play until he's 45. 41 right now. Loving it as much as ever. Rodgers is 34.
Brady could get in along with his Social Security on the same time.
He's on Medicare. He's going to the end. Stoutsky's kickoff. Bounce into the end zone.
Lakers, I'm going to pull for these ballers to win today.
So when they face potential Hall of Fame, Brady, 19,
12, 24, 33, 43, 51, 58.
When they match up with the other guys.
Tom Brady may lose his 12th game tonight. They showed a graphic. Well, we don't even know if they're going to be in the Hall of Fame. Look out for the Packers here.
Now we talk about it all the time, but watch the release. I'm not even sure that Aaron Rodgers gets his hands on the laces here, but he sees just a little bit of space, and he's going to get the ball out to his playmaker. Interesting, the last time these two teams played, it was Adams who was the number 3 guy who got all the one-on-one opportunities. In this game, not so much. He didn't a whole lot.
Adams 2 catches for 11 yards.
Dallas throwing into some traffic there. Patriots are not, they're not better than the Rams. They have to realize that to play on the road as they were last week, they have to go out here and take one from New England.
78 man
Aaron Rodgers can move. No one was there.
There's the guy, Monte Adams. They'd love to get him the football. Probably should have. Just you could see that Rodgers felt like he had to bail out a little bit early. Unfortunately, he bailed to the side where there were no receivers and just had to simply throw it away.
Yeah, he's right. He has to be aware of the kind of play that's run and flip the play around to be able to fit that. Seven-yard line. I'll be right.
Hey guys, today we're here to talk about trucks.
Trucks.
What the heck is that? What truck brand comes from the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road?
I think it's a Chevy.
Ford.
Is it Ford?
No, it's not Ford. It's Ram.
Is it Ram? Ram.
It's Chevy.
That's right. From the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. Gorgeous. Chevy did it on the ballpark with these.
The numbers to this point in the game, Rodgers has already thrown the ball 18 times, 73 yards. Brady completing 67% of his passes for 117. So Green Bay has run 24.6 runs, 18 passes. That's nothing new for them. And the Patriots now will take over at the 27-yard line. The pass to Clint Matthews. Kenny Barner is the new running back here. Versus 18 with the fullback as well. Matthews was taken down and passes caught by the fullback. They had played Pro Bowl last year. Matthews making the second half.
That's pretty amazing, and he's going to get some respect. Kenyon Barner, watch him step up and make a hit here. Clay Matthews blitzing through here, running back the left side. He gets a knockdown on him. That is going to give you some kudos when you go back to the film.
This week, second question was it says go.
We got one, and the dirt blue is slid across the line. Did it ever go in? That's pretty close.
Okay.
Did the tippy of the toe get in
Third down.
before it slid out?
Well, Belichick could challenge, but I doubt he'd win this one. Kind of see it with their hearts and not their eyes. But he was like, good. What did he say? No challenge. 36-3. Goes low.
Fourth down here. Rodgers gets the ball back. We see more defensive play involved in this football game. Simply do at this point. So this game is turning out to be back and forth game. Defense involved, as I said. Cold weather football too. We forget about this is not indoors like the Superdome at New Orleans. Number 12 back. I imagine Texans Colts can be flexed in on Sunday Night Football as well. But Green Bay has as the number 4 seed against New Orleans as the number 1 seed, or even New Orleans could be a number 2 seed at this point. LA could still end up pushing the number 1 seed. Look, it ended up costing the Rams is not having enough competition in their division. And that can prove to be quite consequential. They're not able to beat the very best of the best this year with having poor competition. NFC West, 6 games out of 16 that they just simply cannot make themselves a better team in those kind of games. In addition to these 6 teams, played the Broncos, played the Seahawks, played Arizona, they played they played Oakland Raiders. And the Rams against the Chargers, that Chargers are not going to be among the contenders in the AFC. That's going to be the Colts, the Patriots, the Chiefs, and the Steelers, the big 4. No more Patriots winning Super Bowls. Tom Brady remains at 5 Super Bowl titles. Brady has 5 left. Snake is what prevents Brady from winning the 6th Super Bowl. Andrew Luck the snake. That's what Luck is going to do. Manchester Derby. Manchester United is going to win the Manchester Derby.
3 Green Bay coaches who know a lot about the Patriots. Joe Philbin was the head coach of Miami. Mike Pettine was the defensive coordinator with the Jets, so they saw each other twice a year. Patrick Graham was the inside linebacker.
Mike Pettine also was with the Jets and the Bears.
For 5 seasons, so a little bit of extra intelligence.
I'm a Cardinals fan, but the Colts might pick them in the Super Bowl, so I'm going with the Colts. That's how it is. Right. Boom. Running game going. They got to find it on the slant game. The Green Bay passing playbook. A lot of slant action. A lot of quick passes to get the ball out of Rodgers' hands.
A great game last week against the Rams. So the first 2 games. They started the year with Jamal Williams. They got rid of time on Taylor now. So they expect Jones to handle most of the workload.
Look at that running game. They're protecting Aaron Rodgers there. That's what the Green Bay Packers have to do to be competitive.
Yeah, this is the power look for the Green Bay Packers with 84 Lance Kendricks in there and fullback. He will lead the way around the edge. They're going to pull both guys on the outside. They're not the other. And an extremely athletic tackle. And watch Jones here with the quickness to get turned up the field for those additional yards.
Still picks up a couple of yards there at the 42.
Now, one of the things that both of these quarterbacks have done so well during the course of their career, I think they're both in the top 3 as far as using motion to try and force the defense to show, what are you in? Are you in game coverage? Are you not? And a lot of times, they'll do it even despite the fact because they want a different matchup and they know by going in motion, they'll get a different coverage coming across the formation.
See what happens here on 2nd and 8. It's got to find the deep route there. There's no safety over the top. He finds a
43-yard line. Hightower was chasing Rodgers out of the way.
Yeah, Hightower, when he gets on the edge, so tough. But the amazing thing about Aaron Rodgers, I mean, I hit on it a little bit earlier. When he's moving to his left, his passer rating is 140 this year. When he's been moving to his right, because of the issues that gets that left knee, his passer rating is 159. So he's been much more effective moving this way.
It's really the first time he's opened again before it hurt. He has played with the Almost for a first down is Devontae Adams. Gilmore makes the stop, stops 7 yards, John Henry, 2nd and 1.
Now you hear about leverage all the time. This time you're going to see Gilmore with inside leverage.
Okay.
In other words, he's playing the inside of the field. So automatically, Adams knows
Yeah, I mean, 2nd and 1 here. The next play is going to be run up the middle with the fullback. Oh, fullback? First down.
Stopped by Lawrence Cotton will move the sticks for Green Bay. That's first down, number 11.
Now, we haven't talked about Jamal Williams a lot, and he really is the better of the pass protectors. A guy who really didn't like to pass protect at all when he was in college, and he had one that was so bad he come up and cost up a game at BYU. So then he started taking it seriously, and now he's really good at it.
He was an alternate day running back against the Bears in that 7-9 September.
That Patriot defense not been impressive with the highest screen game to allow the Green Bay Packers to really find a rhythm offensively.
Against the Rams' first of the season.
This field is getting shorter, though. It's getting shorter.
Here's what you're seeing if you're Aaron Rodgers. There's somebody way back there, but not a lot of space, so they should be able to win.
Slant up the middle. That's what's needed. Not going to have much luck calling a. Can't celebrate placing more the NFL because of all the flags that they threw.
Lawrence may have come across the line.
They're two fouls on the defense, offside on the defense. That penalty is declined. One player on the field snap on the defense. That penalty is accepted. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
He was actually a 12th guy.
Yeah, that time there was the Patriots who were confused out there. Nobody in the middle of the field. And unfortunately, this was not Jimmy Graham. Lance Kendricks is a guy who is a good blocker. He is their fullback. He's got in a little early for John. They got away with it.
Against the Patriots, so he's still on the team in the league. 2nd and 3. The fucking 3.
Yeah!
Well, that time they switched now. Now they're going to do the double team on Jimmy Graham. And what are they doing? They're trying to not give Aaron Rodgers the same look. So that time it was Devontae Adams who had the one-on-one, and he gets the football. So it's not fooling Aaron Rodgers. It's not fooling Tom Brady either. That's what makes these guys great. Post-snap, they change defense, and they still know what's that.
Aaron Rodgers can move. We can. Packers gonna win the game. They pollute you with Tom Brady too much. Oh, Patriots gonna. It's not even the same Patriots team. Right? I see them on the field. Scripted for Green Bay to come back. Patriots will still be in the playoffs after this week, so everything is all good. They'll hype up the Pittsburgh Steelers as being a Super Bowl contender. How they lost the Kansas City Chiefs this year. Whoever they lost their other game to, that was a surprise as well.
For Jones tonight, 8 carries, 48 yards, 5.5 to go in the half.
Now they come in with a big tight end, go a little power football, but that was a nice streak. Wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't an audible or a check on the part of Aaron Rodgers. safeties in the middle of the field down inside the red zone.
They ran it again to 33.
Watch this one. The old rebounder comes in with one hand. These receivers these days are doing the same thing. They're using one hand to hold the defender away and trying to catch it with the other hand. It's a great strategy as long as you can catch it. Get away with it.
Now you got to run it here, or you got to get play action. That's what needs to happen here.
This so well coached. There's no freebies on the outside. Jimmy Graham's going to be covered out there by Landon Roberts. Jones sitting right there waiting on it. There wasn't another receiver out there. So this team that throws an extraordinary amount of passes down inside the red zone is continuing that trend despite running it down to the two. Third and goal.
They were going play action. Touchdown, the Packers. They got him.
See Adams come in here and work like this. And what it reminds me of now is Jordy Nelson. Remember the glory days that those two guys would work together? And all Aaron Rodgers would do is just give Jordy enough time to work his way open, happen exactly like there. Just kept working. There he is with the touchdown.
Tie game. It's going to be a good one. Who's going to make a play?
Nothing I want to hear today. I wish they would learn us to change. I don't want to kill all these good touch. Just
Do as your dear told.
out now. Really get a picture. In the PS4 Pro bundle.
Can I cross it off yet?
Almost. And now.
What's going on here is that obviously the wild card spot's going to be up for grabs, and it's really going to be determined. There are some
that person could handle and would handle accidentally put a towel, fire in the towel, try the wall. What were you just in the bathroom? I've never been in the bathroom. Not once. How does that work? Well, I meditate and I had to go away. It smells like it burns on me. We should definitely investigate it.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
You work with some. Yeah. And now you get to be. I don't want to show wow. Hit the elite where it starts. Get it right. Fire with me.
This sounds like an apple, so if anybody wants out, but it's probably too late.
This is our shop.
Who's welcome to this? In Phoenix, November 21st. The Volkswagen Atlas with available 4-motion all-wheel drive.
Chargers in the way. So you're doing your schoolwork and watching this live stream at the same time. I've got the score here if you're doing it. It's 10-10 right now. 10-10. There's about like 3 minutes left.
Four World Series finals over the past 14 years versus the Red Sox were here before the game and the big parade in Boston. You can all that. There were so many years without winning one. That's also a breakaway.
Basic fun, the city of Boston is on right now in Rodgers sports.
Rules are bad either. But they're all kind of similar to this one.
32-yard line. Now let's talk about what may possibly happen if we see a touchdown or a field goal. Well, if we see 13-10, then that's 23 points. And I believe it is Tom Brady that equals 53. Sorry about that. I didn't see your light in there.
I'd say it's about a 10-10 tie right now.
We're going to fall back to sleep. Or you just want to come with us to Brand's place to drink and watch the second half of the game?
Possibly. It's a fair man.
Now, the one thing we have not seen tonight is this Green Bay Packers defense that has been blitzing so much, really coming after Tom Brady. Because 3 blitzes on the night so far. And the reason that's significant is I think people are afraid here's what he might not live with, and that's huge.
Yeah, they're short back there. Remember, you don't have somebody in the show. You have one Anderson, who had the 10 carries last week in Buffalo, and one was he ever had a game. He lines up behind Devil again. It was really good. And a late play comes in the end of the play, and 2 late plays. A pretty quiet night in terms of penalties. Brad Allen will fill us in momentarily.
So another field goal is possible. Look out for that if we see a field goal. We've seen a lot of defense so far, so don't be surprised if we see 23 points here.
Involved in that tussle.
I just don't see Mike McCarthy getting fired here. As many people think he is, but he's going to be there as long as Aaron Rodgers is here. I think it's going to last for their whole career. It's going to be like Tom Brady and Bill Belichick.
He just gets frustrated, and it's one of the hard things when you ask somebody who's his size, 195 pounds, to go in there and take on some of these linemen. But this has been the defense that has worked the best for the Green Bay Packers tonight, so I can't imagine they're going to get out of it.
One of the reasons that Whitehead is in
After the play is over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness number 35. Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Let's see more action tonight. He's got rid of Clinton Dixon and Trey last week.
Her secondary is just fine without Clinton Dixon there.
Blocking, no problem. Absolutely. Can't do that.
Yeah, that's a penalty.
Nothing to do with David Andrews. He's playing, and here comes Whitehead out of the game.
Then Allen is with him going over to the bench.
There's no objection.
You know, he escorted him over to the bench.
Maybe there is. Wow, that is a big moment. Now they're having to go back to that 2
So Whitehead restored it back to the rocket with the he takes the cross behind Baker.
Who's that running back?
Terry McCoy, our rules analyst, long-time official. Terry, was that more than a ejection for what you saw?
It just looked like an open hand shot to the head. You see a lot of those. It's not a punch. It's not a close fist punch that normally would lead to ejection. I'm also surprised that there was no announcement that he was.
Well, that's a minute after the play action. That doesn't warrant an ejection. Who's that running back? Gee, that's a tank of a running back. That guy's not athletic. Receiver 6'4", he'd play wide receiver.
The Patriots are having more success running the football against the two linebackers than they were having against 195-pound Jermaine Whitehead.
That is the score.
USAA presents the Salute to Service moment. Retired NFL football receiver and military brat Vincent Jackson spent today with former Navy SEALs to experience the training required from our special forces. Participating in this training alongside military veterans is one small way USAA encourages individuals to show honor through action for the men and women of our armed forces. See how USAA honors and protects our nation's military at salutetoservice.com. The Volkswagen Atlas with easy access for the road. Life's as big as you make it.
Look around. With artificial intelligence, we are not crawling or walking. We are flying. Microsoft AI helps an architect bring history back to life. This is now. AI farmers grow more food with less resources. And engineers explores how AI can help the deaf see sound. Innovation is tomorrow, and tomorrow is here today.
What a touchdown for the Grinch! And he's celebrating with the Dirty Bird. Now the iconic Sultan. Here comes the spike. That's gotta hurt.
Let's learn at halftime as a head will wrap up the entirety of the NFL 60 seconds, including the first loss for the Rams and how it changes the balance of power in the NFC. We'll see you at that half.
Are they taking a money back to Gillette Stadium where we'll be with Foxboro? 2 minutes.
And they try running play here. Look out for 2-minute offense here. 3 timeouts here. It could be 17-17. Could be a lot like the Super Bowl being on the 34th day of the year. I see what's happening here.
Watch this guy right here, Trent Brown. Talk about getting physical at the line of scrimmage. He's going to take 2 right out of there. But I don't want to bury the lead on this one. Cordero Patterson was amazing that drive running the football. This is week number 2 for him doing that.
Wisconsin for the extra point. That drive was 7 plays. 6 rushes, 1 pass back in 30 seconds.
34, Super Bowl 52. As time ran down, was about to conclude one of the most improbable.
So So just one last thing before I leave here, before I sign off. But the score was 17-17. Gives them 34 total points. And these guys are going to be in the discussion, of course, to play in the Super Bowl at Atlanta. February the 3rd is the 34th day of the year. So I think that's what a halftime score of 17-17 could represent. I think Aaron Rodgers did something similar against Chicago Bears. 17-point comeback it was.
Right now, they turned his mic off. He did announce the ejection, but the mic was off at that point.
What was the over-under for the first half? I'd like to know. Maybe 35 or something. Or over-under could be at like 60 points or something. If people really believe that these teams are going to put together a roller coaster.
A lot of guys, a lot of athletes who poo-poo it, they embraced it because they understand and love the history of the game.
They do. They're fans of football, and they also understand they're two of the biggest stars in football, and so they never turned their back on it. They really did. They just said, yeah, we're looking forward to it, and they talked a lot about each other, and it made it even more fun to get ready for the game.
He got 3 timeouts, and I think Aaron Rodgers and company run one of the quickest 2-minute offenses in the league.
Against the Rams on the kickoff. He knows he has plenty of time, and he is taking his time up there. Remember, though, he has injured guys playing on the right-hand side or replacements, Byron Bell and Jason Sprint's playing right on the
Jeez, isn't that like Dante Hightower over there, or that's someone else? He's not 53.
And the thing that great quarterbacks want to do in these situations, timeouts, that's an eternity.
I
What you don't want to do is
think there's
give Tom Brady
27 teams in the AFC have won the Super Bowl, I think. It's like 27 or 26. I think that's what may be the key for them. That wasn't going to do much.
Rodgers in his first ever preseason game. Trey also the guy with 2.5 sacks in the Super Bowl win over Atlanta a couple of years back.
You know, it's interesting, though. We talked a little bit with Devontae Adams about, communication. It's one thing to know the offense. It's another thing to know Aaron
Okay, let's hope a big play happens here before I leave.
There are a lot of young guys in the football game right now, which may slow this process.
Exactly what I spoke to us last night. Rodgers, then the pocket, it's going to keep it flat. It's strong. It's going to come in.
They call a hold here.
The 41-yard line.
Might have been a defensive hold because
I hope it's defensive. Well, I'm going with the Rockets against the Celtics, and I'm going to stick with that right now. I think someone's got to take over the Warriors. Oh, offsetting plays. Rockets got to get hot right now. This is a perfect time to get hot during a road trip and to take care of the home court, to start to work your way up to the Western Conference standings. You start to find who your best defenders will. Just definitely not in the next few seasons, because LeBron's Lakers are going to be very dominant out west over the next few years. And I think Kevin Durant may leave eventually. I think he may return to Oklahoma City, as a matter of fact. Did you still want to come along? Brennan's on his way right now. He was a little hesitant at first. He doesn't want to come. I saw
If you want to tell him now that I can drive over.
Here before it's 30.
Now, I got to go back for 1 second because I'm still scratching my head a little bit over the ejection of Jermaine Whitehead. Now, I'm all for, okay, that has no place, but open-handed to the face, and this Green Bay Packers team has been hit hard this year with some of these calls for being too rough. Now, I understand that's a shot, that's a foul in my estimation. Is that an ejection? Football's been played a long time. That doesn't feel like an ejection, but
We've seen a lot of games when, unless there's something going on that we don't know. We even turn the ball in saying that. He said, did he say something? But that was an ejection.
looks like they may drop it out of it. He goes to zone.
Rodgers trying to get the first down. The ball comes out.
That about?
It's out of bounds. Claiborne chasing.
But it's interesting, the recovery was sort of close to the first down line.
Let's see where it was recovered. Inside the 2 minutes.
Brand's at his residence right now, so once it's halftime, we can just
So,
come along over. And I forgot what he said he was gonna have at his house to drink.
I just gotta remember which one it was.
trying to get to the first down line if we can. Well, short ball stays in bounds here. And then it's
Okay, let's say which time. Maybe he may have some hard stuff. I don't know what his dad keeps him with there.
That was kind of a naked bootleg run kind of looking thing.
Well, I think there's a second half coming up. Today is a date numerology 53. Let me just close with that. This may be the premier game where we actually see a comeback occur for this week's NFL action. I'd just like to close at that. We should see if Aaron Rodgers is going to execute the comeback to perfection. We'll see who delivers. If I had to guess, maybe 27-26. Who knows? We'll see what happens, and I'll be back for more after that.
So even this time